Okay, welcome back. Today we're going to focus, or on this video, we're going to focus on how to turn an ear wire. Now, it sounds so simple, and there's lots of different videos out there and lots of different tricks. I've learned years ago the easiest for me. It may not be the easiest for you, and that's fine. When you can do whatever technique that gets you to the right point. The big thing is to make sure that the link is closed so that the ear wire will not come apart and that it's very secure. Okay, in your kit you received two bags. One that had head pins in it, and the head pin has got the little tiny back head on the bottom of one end. Then I also sent you a bag of what I call training or practice wires. When I cut a head pin and it's of a decent length, I save them. I have like a box of them, because when I teach the classes, I often have people that want to practice, and you don't want to wreck your good head pins to practice on. So here's how I turn a head pin, and for me, this is the most efficient way. You're going to take your wire and you're going to put, let me move these over a little bit, your flat-nosed pliers on the wire. Now, there is a big debate of how big or how small to make the eye of a head pin. Again, personal preference. Whatever you feel is the best one is for you. After you've done them quite a bit of time, you will figure out where your line is and where what length you need. So what you're going to do is do a 90-degree angle with the flat nose. And the reason we use the flat nose, and I just pressed to make a 90-degree angle, see it? Okay, is because it keeps this flat and this comes down across it and makes a really nice 90-degree angle. Okay, now once that's done, I set those aside and I pick up my round nose pliers. I put them again at kind of my designated spot. I know how wide the wire is. If you're just learning, some people will put a little permanent marker mark to show you, okay, if the wire is my perfect length, here is where my perfect turn is. Now, it doesn't matter whether you have nails or not, okay? You do want to put your thumb into this 90-degree angle. Now, if you've got nails, perfect. If you don't have nails, still kind of put your thumb in there and hold on the other side like that. And then you're going to gently turn, and the more you can do it in one motion, the better. Gently turn. And don't worry, I'm going to show you again. Normally, I don't let go of that. It's hard to do in a video until it goes all the way around. And what happens when you're done, if you've done it right, is that you get a straight line going up through the middle of the circle, through the eye. Now, I'm going to do it again and show you in a little more fluid motion. So, I'm going to do my right angle. Now, I'm going to take my wire, or my round nose pliers. And by the way, I have a permanent scar. I don't think you can see it, but I have a little scar here because I slipped so many times that I cut myself with the round nose pliers. And I'm going to do it in one fluid motion. Ugh, I am so bad at that video part when I'm trying to get close. Someday I'm going to invest in a really good video machine and make this so much better. So, you can see that the wire goes straight up through the eye. I'll do it one more time. Okay, so I'm going to try not to watch the video to see if I can do this a little more fluid again. Right angle. And you can see how much I do there. Okay, turn it around. And with one fluid motion all the way around. See, that's why I have to watch the video screen, because I go out of the video screen. And that was a smaller one. Now, here is a prime example of it not being closed all the way. Can you see that it's not closed? So you just stick your round nose pliers in there and just pull it closed a little bit. And if you're off a little, as far as being straight, you just take the flat nose pliers and go over the top of your eye and straighten it out. And the reason you do that is so that you don't corrupt the eye again. So, all right. One more time, and then I'm going to show you how to assemble. All right, I'm going to stay right here. Right angle. Round nose. Turn it around all the way. So when you start, your hand is going to start here and go all the way around. Okay, again, you can see that I didn't quite close it all the way, so I just stick my round nose pliers in there and tighten it a little bit. And look at that. All right, so once you've perfected it and done your practice, which as you can see, we've got a lot of practice out of them, you're just going to add on some beads that you have on hand or whatever you're working on, okay, to make an earring. When you go to turn your right angle, okay, you don't want to be right up against the beads tight, especially with crystals, but with anything, you don't want to be right up against it because you need room to turn. And what will happen is you'll either break the top of the crystals or the stone, or you'll pull this all the way through because you're like manhandling it, okay? So you want to leave a little bit of a gap, and you'll learn again the gap. That's a good gap right there. And that is enough so that when you turn the right angle, the bottom of the pliers fits in it, okay? When you cut, these have a habit of shooting across the room. So usually what I do is either wrap my hand around it, or if it's really short, I'll put my finger on the end. And you're going to cut, and you can save those pieces for practice. Okay. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put your finger or fingernail kind of in there, and you're going to do one smooth turn. If you have to, rotate around, and look at that. You get your perfect. Now, when you go to assemble an earring, I'll use the bigger one so you can see. And I know we haven't talked about the jump rings. We'll do that later, but you open your jump ring, okay? If you have ear wires that open like this one does, you can put the ear wire straight on and not use a jump ring. However, I always recommend you put at least one ring in between the earring and the ear wire. And why? Because if I'm watching this dangle right now, you see how much it's moving? Okay. Now I will take that ear wire out so that you can see what it looks like without the jump ring on it. And now I'm opening the actual ear wire. Oh, I didn't open it. I'm putting the head pin that I turned on and closing it again. Now, it still moves, but it's not as free. It doesn't move as much. So that extra link in there makes 100% difference. Okay? Also, if you are making forward-facing earrings, you always want to have one that faces this way and one that faces this way when you add the ear wires, so that it will turn. And I can tell you right now from experience that if you're doing something that you want to face forward, so that when you look at someone, their earrings are facing flat, not to the side of their head, then you're going to almost always need two jump rings. Okay, and that will turn them to face flat. And so what the difference is that if this is your earring, okay, and this is your head here, what happens is that you either have it here or you have it here. So this is beside your head and this is facing forward. So if you want to face forward, you almost always need two jump rings. I'm sorry about that. Two jump rings, and that will turn your work forward. But again, always make sure you do a left and a right, because there is a left and a right earring a lot of times. Okay? So that showed you the ear wires and how to turn them. If you have any questions, please give me a message or Instagram on Instagram, Facebook, or email, and I will answer them. And I will see you at the next video.